everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Black-Liberation.Tech podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Renée Jordan. And so today we're going to do something special. We're taking it back, all the way back to June 2021, to review two videos that lived on my dissertation website. At the time, there were simple demonstrations of digital literacies, but looking back now, they were snapshots of survival, strategy, and everyday instructional technology in real life. You'll hear two short reflections, one shorter than the other. So, one is going to be about developing a life changing budget, and the other one is about learning to monitor and repair my credit. These weren't polished tutorials. They were lived experiences documented as data, yes, but also as testimonies of growth. They show that digital literacies aren't just about coding and AI tools, they are about spreadsheets, credit apps, online research, problem solving, and managing life in digital spaces. And today, we are revisiting them through a liberation lens, asking what they taught me then, what they reveal now, and what they might offer you as you level up in your own digital literacy journey. Let's get into it. Everyone, this is Renee. I am going to challenge myself to get this done as quickly as possible, but this is the most important document that I have. Not only is it on my computer, I can access it from my phone as a result of being able to go back and forth between documents on my iCloud. So this is in numbers, but essentially you can do the same thing with an Excel spreadsheet. I first learned how to use Excel in high school, tech class that taught the basics as far as Microsoft Office was concerned. And although I learned how to make a spreadsheet then, it wasn't until my second full-time job that I actually learned how to create a budget. And this allowed me to go past my check. What was it called? And so this allowed me to go beyond balancing my checkbook to projecting what my finances look like for the next 2-week pay period, the month, the year. And now this document actually covers from 2020 to 2030. At my second job, my second full-time job after graduating college was at a Black-owned property management company. And there were at least 20 properties. And once a year, I worked on the accounts payable receivable side for the associations, not for the actual company, but for the associations. So seeing that their bills were paid, as well as collecting their association fees. And so we did budgets once a year. And as a result of handling their money, in short, I was able to do a better job at handling my own money because I saw it at work. I was able to see it play out. And as a result of being a salary employee, I can do the same for myself. And so this is what it looks like. One lesson was that I could borrow against my 403B that I had as a result of teaching to get the down payment for my condo. I want to make sure that I emphasize that I learned borrowing against my 403B. I learned that from my dad. That's something he said one time. Another lesson learned was that your house expenses, which include the mortgage, the interest, principal, and insurance on your home should be 10% of your income. And so this is actually about 3 salaries ago, and it also includes additional principal payments. And I learned in church from our church administrator that you want to always pay additional on the principal. And so that's what I learned, and that's what I'm doing here. The good thing about my condo association is that it includes water. This is a brief look at my budget. It can be done in Excel. I highly recommend this to everyone. What I do, since I have all of my payments set up on automatic draft, As they come out during the month, I grade them out to say that they've come out. What is not listed here is the amount of money that I give on a regular basis. So that's not included in here. What's also not included in here is my spending money. So essentially, after I tally up everything that I owe, as well as everything that I save, so there is some saving happening in here, I say I can spend the rest. Now, another lesson I learned was that I could round up in order to keep the change. So at first, I learned that from Wachovia when it was a thing. It would round up to the next dollar amount so that you could keep the change. And so Wachovia went away, but I figured, hey, I could do that on my own. So first I started with the dollar, then I moved it up to $5. And so now I round up to the next $5 or $10 so that I'm constantly saving as I spend. And that's a treat to see how much pocket change I can accumulate over time. And then I get to spend the pocket change. So that's exciting. There have been times where things have come up with my car. I was able to repair my car as a result of pocket change that I saved and not have to go to my emergency fund, as well as not have to go to my credit card. So that was great. The mortgage and house expenses in terms of things that are associated with your mortgage being 10%, that's also a lesson learned that I heard just one good time. I was watching either HGTV, something along those lines, where they buy houses. And I was just like, how are these people buying these houses? And I realized that this is how, if you're not spending all your money in order to pay for your house, you can accumulate money. And then they are also able to buy homes because they were selling homes and had cash from their previous home to pay on their new home. So this is my first home, and this is what it looks like. I'm being very transparent. And I thought this was very important to me, so I would share it out with others. If you're interested, feel free to give me an email and I will send you the template. I'm an educator. Sharing information is free. And that's it. Hello, everyone. This is Renee again. This is a screenshot of my report as a result of my second job, once again, at the Black-owned property management company. I found out about my credit score. My employers wanted to purchase me a car because they knew I was having car trouble with the car that I had. At first, they wanted to fix it, but then we found out how much it was. They said, perhaps you should buy a car or see if you could buy a car instead of trying to fix the other one. And as a result of the car buying process, I found out my credit score and it needed help. That was not the first time I heard my credit score, but it was the first time I heard my credit score since purchasing my first car, which was pretty much totaled. So my credit score was in need of repair. I heard on television about freecreditreport.com. So I went there, found out what was going on with my credit, and essentially I used the feedback that they provided on freecreditreport.com regarding my credit score in order to make improvements. And I planned out a way of escape, if you will, from there. That plan also included calling people and saying, hey, I'm not making as much money as I thought I would, and I need a break in terms of the payments that I'm giving. I found out about forbearance, deferment, and making arrangements as a result. And today, my credit score is much better. I, at one point, paid for a monthly credit watching. And then when I found out one of my credit cards offered a free credit monitoring application, I started using that. So at least once a month, I check my credit score, see where I am, find out where I could make improvements. And this is like number 2 after my budget spreadsheet. This is number 2 in terms of helping me to manage my personal finances. So that's that. I hope this helps somebody. It certainly helped me. Once again, sharing is caring. Here are some reflective questions for you. When you think about your digital habits around money, budgeting, banking, tracking, planning, what do they reveal about your relationship to stability and self trust? What digital tools do you already use to support your financial, academic, or career goals? How might you use them more intentionally? How did you learn your earliest financial lesson? And how do those memories shape the way you navigate digital platforms today? Where in your life are you already practicing digital literacy without naming it? If you could build one new digital habit this year, big or small, what would it be? If these reflections spark something for you, a memory, a new idea, a shift in how you see your own digital practices, I want to invite you to take the next step. Choose one digital habit to strengthen this week. Maybe it's updating your budget spreadsheet. Maybe it's checking your credit report. Maybe it's setting up an auto draft savings plan or learning a few new features in Excel or Google spreadsheets. Whatever it is, let it be something that brings you closer to stability, clarity, or peace. And if today's episode helped you in any way, please share it with a friend, a niece, a coworker, or someone in your circle who could use a little encouragement on their own digital literacy journey. Remember, knowledge is most powerful when it circulates. Once again, thank you for listening to another episode of the Black-Liberation.Tech podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Renée Jordan. Please be sure to like, subscribe, and share, rate, and review the podcast to help it become more discoverable. And until next time, take care. Bye-bye.